Hey guys, we're looking at the unit test, unit 4. This is 7.5 similar figures. Let's jump right in. My first question is looking at two similar triangles, ABC and DFE. Whenever I see a question asking about similar triangles, I'm going to write out the names of the triangles, one on top of the other, in exactly the same order. So ABC and DFE, one on top of the other. That's because when I have similar triangles, my names are giving me hints. The first letter of the first triangle will correspond to the first letter of the second triangle. So A and D are the same angle. B and F are the same angle. C and E are the same angle. And it's easier for me to see when I have them written out one on top of the other. So when I'm looking for B, angle B, I can now draw a little rectangle around B and the letter underneath it. That tells me that B and F are going to be the same in these two triangles. So I can go ahead, my answer is angle F. Let's check out the next one. So this next question is also a similar triangle. So again, without even looking at the question, I'm just going to write out the names of my triangles, ABC, DEF. Now that I have that, I can read it. ABC is similar to DEF. Which side of DEF corresponds to AB? So let's find where AB is. AB is right there. So I'm going to draw a rectangle around AB and whatever letters are underneath it. That tells me that the side corresponding to AB will be DE. So I find DE, that is my answer. Let's check out our next one. All right, so FGH is similar to, we have that character there, which again means is similar to, JLK. So again, I'm going to write these out really fast for myself. FGH and JLK. Which statement is not true? So we can narrow this down. We're going to cross out the ones that are true to figure out which one is not. Angle F corresponds to angle J. Let's see. I find my angle F, I find my angle J. Those are corresponding. J is right under F. That means that they correspond. They are the same angle. So that is true. Next, angle G corresponds to angle K. Let's check. Angle G is in the middle. Looks like angle L is the one that's just below. So it turns out that this one is not true. Let's check our work though. Let's check the others just to be sure. Angle K corresponds to angle H. Let's see. H and K, yep, they're right on top of the other. That is true. Angle L corresponds to angle G. Let's see here. Angle L and angle G. Yep, those two are right on top of each other. That one is also true. So it turns out that our false statement is G and K. Those are on different sides. G is on top of L. H is on top of K, so that cannot be true. All right, moving right along. So we're looking at a picture now. We have a picture of two similar triangles, ABC, FGH. So in this picture, we see that there are some strange half circles in the corners of these triangles. There's one for A, angle A, and there's one for angle G. There's two for angle B and angle F. First, we have to know what these mean. The number of arcs are telling me that angle A is the same as angle G. So if the number of arcs matches, for example, between A and G, that means that those angles are the same. So for example, if angle A were 45 degrees, I know that any angle with one arc, with one line in the corner will also be 45 degrees. That's an example. In this case, we don't know how large the angle is, but that's just an example. So in this case, we also have some arcs, some corners with two of those. So for example, B and F. That's telling me that B and F also will have the same angle. So whatever B is will also equal F. All right, now that I understand what those are, let's clean up these marks and get started. So I have my similar triangles. I'm going to start by matching the sides. So angle A, has the same angle as angle G. So I know that A and G are going to be the same. Next, I'm going to match B. So B has the same angle as angle F. So I'm going to write F right underneath B to show that those are corresponding, that those are the same angle. And lastly, my C and my H are going to go right on top of each other to show that those are also similar. Those are also corresponding. All right, so now we're figuring out which statement is true. So I'm going to write these out to compare them and see which of them matches my key. My key is ABC over GFH. Those are the similar triangles with the corresponding angles. I'm going to see if any of these four answers matches what I have just written. So BAC and GHF, let's see. This has B and G corresponding. In my key, it should be B and F corresponding. So this first one is not correct. Let's check the second one. It says ABC, FHG. So let's see. A and F are corresponding. Oh, that doesn't look right because A and G are supposed to correspond. All right, let's check out the next one. I'm going to go down here. BAC and FGH. Let's check. B and F are corresponding. That's right. A and G are corresponding. That's right. And C and H are corresponding. It looks like we have found our answer. But let's check the last one just to be sure. ABC and HGF. So A and H are corresponding. Nope, that is wrong. We found our answer with the third. The third one is BAC is similar to FGH. All right, let's try the next one. All right, moving right along. So our next question, we have two similar triangles, ABC and DEF. And I'm going to start by drawing out my key. So ABC, DEF, so that I know which angles correspond, which sides correspond. As I'm looking down, I can also see that there are side comparisons, that's these two letters with a line on top, and angle comparisons. That's the half triangle with three letters after. So before I go any further, I'm actually going to set up a second way to do this. You can follow whichever method you like best. You don't have to use both. But if one doesn't make sense, you can use the other. If you like one more, you can use that. So I'm going to set up two different ways to solve this, and we can use that to also check our work. So I'm going to use my key to help me draw some angle comparisons too, to let me know which angles are the same. A corresponds to D. I get that from my key, which tell me A and D have the same angle measurement. So I'm going to draw one arc for A and D. Next, my key tells me that B and E are corresponding. So I'm going to draw two arcs, 1, 2, for B and E. And lastly, I have C and F. And I'm going to draw three arcs in the corner for C and F, just letting me know that those angles are also the same. All right, so now I can take a look at my questions and compare them using both my key with the names of the triangles and using the angles, which I have now just added and drawn in. So my first one, AC, and remember this mark right here is similar to FE. Let's take a look. AC, that's my first to my last letter, I'm going to draw an arrow, is similar to FE. Uh-oh, those arrows are not starting in the right place and ending in the right place. To be similar, AC would be similar to, it would have to start on the first letter because A is the first letter and end on the last letter. So to be similar to AC, it would have to be DF. This first one is not similar, so this is incorrect. I'm going to go ahead and cross this out. Next one, FDE is congruent. Remember this symbol, this symbol is congruent, which means exactly the same to CAB. So let's check. I will check two ways for this. The first way is using my key, my letter key. The second way is using my pictures. Let's start with my letter key. My letter key tells me that F is the last letter, D is the first, and then E is the last. So we're starting at the end, going to the beginning, and going to the middle. And I'm going to draw an arrow to show me that direction. To be congruent, I would have to start at the end, go to the beginning, and then go to the middle. Let's check if that's how it named it. C to A to B. Yep, that actually looks correct. So I can box this off, but let's check it using my other method. Let's check it using pictures as well. So let's find FDE. Angle FDE is going to be my second triangle, starting with F, going to D, going to E. And angle FDE is going to be this angle that I'm circling, which has one arc. So let's check on the other triangle. I'm looking for angle CAB. For it to be the same, it will have to also have one arc. So let's find CAB, starting at the C, going to the A, and then going to the B. Let's circle it. That also has one arc. So my second answer is true using both methods. Let's say that we weren't sure, we wanted to check our work. We can check the other two problems still. So let's erase some of those marks. We know that that's our correct answer, but we'll still check the other ones just to show that we know how to do them as well. All right, so AB is similar to FD. I'm going to box AB. And it looks like underneath AB we have DE. So AB is not similar to FE, which is over here. It's similar to DE, so that is false. And lastly, angle BCA is congruent to FDE. I'm going to use my triangle name method first. So B to C to A. That's my middle to my end to my beginning. To be congruent, it would have to start in the middle, go to the end, and then the beginning. So it would have to be EFD. But that is not the case. It is actually naming FDE, which is end, beginning, middle. So my last one is false. And I can check that last one by also finding it on my picture, which is B to C to A. So that is three arcs, and FDE, that is F to D to E, that is one arc. So those are not the same angle. All right, so I found my answer. All right, let's check out question number 16. Yep, 16. So I have here two similar triangles. I'm going to set up my key, CDF, WXT. And the question is asking what number value. So this is a fill in the blank question. We have a box here and we need to figure out what number should go in that box. I'm going to start by figuring out what numbers they're using for the left side. So 12 and 7. Let's see where those came from. If I look at my left triangle, I can see that FD is 12. So the first number that they're using is FD. I'm going to put a box around that. And then the second number I think is coming from FC, which is 7. So the comparison they're making is between two sides of the same triangle, that's FD and FC. And that should be equal to the same, or the corresponding sides of my second triangle. So FD is in my key, I've got it boxed, and FC is going to be the last to the first letter. So I've drawn an arrow to indicate that. So I'm going to now use my key on the right to figure out what that is corresponding to. FD, my letters in the box, are going to correspond to TX. So FD and TX. And then FC, I've drawn my arrow in my key. That's the last letter to the first letter. I'll draw an arrow as well from the last letter to the first letter of my second triangle. That will be from T to W. So now I have my proportion. I just have to fill in those blanks, fill in those values. I know that FD is 12, FC is 7, and I have to figure out that blank, but TW is 17.5. And I can check by looking at my image. Yep, T to W is 17.5. So now I look at my image for TX, and it turns out that TX is 30 centimeters. So I have my answer. The number in this blank should be 30. All right, we are close to the end, almost there. Number 17, we have a shadow problem. We have a mailbox, which is 4 feet tall, and we have a helpful image here, which has the picture for us, 4 feet tall, and an 8-foot shadow, so 8 foot across. I would normally be drawing these, but since we have a picture, why not use that? And we have a flagpole. We don't know the height. It's who knows how tall. And it has a 32-foot shadow. It's asking how tall is the flagpole? So what is the value of X? So I'm going to set this up. I can set it up a couple of ways, but I'm going to set it up by comparing the height to the shadow. So I'm going to write out my key. My key tells me what I'm comparing, so I don't mess it up, so I don't mix things up, and I'm comparing the height to the shadow. And now I can set up my proportion. That's 2 fractions, 2 ratios, with an equal sign in between. So the height of my mailbox is going to be 4 feet, and the shadow is 8 feet. On the right, I have my flag pole, and my flag pole is X feet tall. We don't know how tall it is, but it is 32 feet for the shadow. And this should look fairly familiar. We now have cross products. We're going to be cross multiplying. That means I'm going to take 8 times X, 8 multiplied by X, equal sign in the center, and I take the other side, 4 times 32, 4 multiplied by 32. I am multiplying by the number that is across. That's why it's called cross multiplication or cross products. And now I have an equation. I want to get my X by itself, so I'm getting rid of any numbers on the same side as X, in this case an 8. The 8 is being multiplied, so I use the opposite of multiply, that's divide. So divide by 8, divide by 8, and I get X equals 4 times 32 divided by 8, which I can use a calculator, and that should be 16 feet. So my flagpole is going to be 16 feet tall. It's a tall flagpole. All right, let's see the next one. Question 18. We have 2 triangles. And when I look at these triangles, I notice that it gives me that weird symbol again. That symbol means is similar to. So I'm going to start off by writing out my key. So LMN and PQR. So that tells me what angles and sides are corresponding. LM is 4, MN is 2, PQ is 12. It's asking what is the length of QR. I'm going to box this. So QR is down here. I'm boxing this because I know that I need to write a proportion using MN and QR. So now we need to set up our proportion, and I'm going to set up my proportion by figuring out some other sides that I know so that I only need one missing side. I don't need too many mysteries to figure out. So I do know LM and PQ. So I'm going to draw another box around them. Actually, I'm going to draw that in a different color just to keep things clear. So LM and PQ are here. So I'm going to start with them because I know what both of those are. LM is 4 because it tells me in the problem. So LM is 4. PQ is 12. So 4 over 12 equals, and now I'm going to use my purple rectangle. That's going to equal MN, which is 2 over QR, which we do not know. So I can, again, write that out. This is MN, or hold on, LM. LM over PQ equals MN over QR. That's where I got all of these, and then I just filled in those numbers using what I knew. So I knew LM is 4, PQ is 12, MN is 2, and QR we do not know. All right, so now I'm going to do some cross multiplication. I need to figure out what QR is. So 4 over 12 equals 2 over QR. So 4 times QR equals 12 times 2. So I can also write this as 24 equals 4 times QR. We have an equation. I want to get rid of the 4. So I'm going to use some SADMEG, which is GEMDOS backwards. The 4 is being multiplied. The opposite of that is divide. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. I've run out of room, so I'm going to go up here. So 24. I'm dividing by 4 on both sides, and I get QR equals 24 divided by 4 is 6. So my answer should be 6 inches. All right, last one. This is for the road, and then we can head off. So we have PQ and N, and I'm going to write my key right away, and WXYZ. So PQ, MN, WXYZ. I have my key, so now it's asking what is the angle measure of Z. I'm going to box up Z. Z is on the bottom here. It is right below N. Angles will stay the same. So all I have to do is figure out which angle corresponds to Z, which in this case is N. Now I have to find N in this shape, the shape on the left, and I can see that N is on the top right. So N is 100 degrees. That tells me that Z is going to be the same. So Z is the same as N. It is 100 degrees. And that is question 19 for the road. All right, there you go. Good luck with the retake, and I will see you guys later.